alive! Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Faces.
Hello! Wow, we made it! Welcome back to another episode of Venture Maidens. Thank you all so much for being here. I know we left you on kind of a big cliffhanger, so I'm very excited to resolve that. How's everybody doing tonight? We ready to get into some shit?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Just making faces, yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I just updated my character sheet to the 1 hit point, and it hurts so much to enter 113 damage.
Yes.
What happens when you're unconscious?
I know. Yeah, dropping all the way. I love that. I love that. I'm looking at D&D Beyond. For those of you who are in Twitch, you can hover over the sidebar and take a little tour of the Maiden's health with me right now. So Farah at 78, Sawyeh at 1, Arnadel 26, Kara 127. Oh boy.
Girl, you got no poker face with the unabashed joy that you have and read those numbers.
Oh yeah. She loves scaring the shit out of us. And this isn't, you can see, an extremely full glass of wine, because that's what tonight needs.
Oh, that's where we're at tonight. Yes. Well, I guess that's our cue to start doing some intros and get into this. Hello, everybody. My name is Celeste Conowich, and tonight I will be your dungeon master.
My name's Brittany Quintero. I'm going to be your Moon Elf Warlock Arnadel Athil, Brittany Quintero. I don't know what's going on, and I
don't know what's happening.
We'll see.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm going to be playing Farah Valen, the tiefling sorceress, who will be putting Humpty Dumpty back together again very shortly.
Oh, please. Well, I'm Nassim. I'm playing your not dead yet human monk, Sawyeh.
And I'm Sage, and I am your I'm your axe brandishing barbarian, Kara Brynhilda.
Yes. Well,
I love
cheers,
the
everybody.
level of uncertainty that we all have.
Yeah. No, cheers to this fascinating night. I also have a big glass of wine, so
yes.
Let's go. Let's get
Mine's
into
beer.
it.
A wine glass.
Sweet. And for those of you joining us right now, we are going to be running a dice giveaway during this episode. So somewhere during, it's okay. I made one, Sage. Okay. I got you. And I can probably run it right this time, maybe. So that'll be fun.
It's fine. So Moobot is working well today, so.
It's working well. It's with us. So stick around. About halfway through the episode, we're going to open up the giveaway for these beautiful inflict wounds dice from RPG Dice.
Those are so
sexy dice.
Yeah, they are very sexy, very like shadowy, sparkly, crimsony red. Gosh, I got to get a better camera to do this with. But yeah, so stick around. Halfway through, we'll be launching that and then finishing it at the end of the episode. But with that out of the way, let's delve in. Like, why don't you all tell me what happened last time? Let's just take a walk down memory lane.
We got played.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, real hard.
And
How did it start?
So it started out kind of, Sawyeh had gone into like this almost like ritual state of starting something, and we didn't feel safe trying to pull her out of it. So we decided instead to push her under the bed, because that makes sense. And then we were like, all right, we got to go fight and just make sure that nobody gets over to where Sawyeh is, because she's not in she's in a very vulnerable state. So Kara took charge and was like full on general mode, and got everybody gathered around and kind of assigned jobs to all like the freaked out mages. And we found that there was just like a shit ton of undead coming to siege this place, even though it was hidden from with all these magic barriers. And then we saw that there was a Dracolich, cool, flying overhead with this person that looked like they were wearing like the Avatar suit of armor. Mm-hmm. And then cut to Sawyeh.
Yeah, y'all left me under the protection of underneath the bed and Alistair Fitzpatrick to watch over my limp body. And I had sort of phased in out of consciousness and into a sort of misty realm that was very empty and flat. There's some sort of dead, desolate trees around. And then in the distance, I saw a statue over this bridge of what looked like a Minotaur kind of figure. And behind me, I heard a voice and saw Mila.
Mhm.
Mila. She basically passed on a message that she had been with Rem since she's disappeared. Since the last we heard was from Aaron that she was not at the keep anymore. She's been with Rem, and they are working together apparently. And she's telling me to get the fuck out. I can't talk to Menoetius because it'll kill me and everyone or something. Some
You won't be
bullshit.
able
I
to
don't believe.
leave.
I do not believe her for a second. And yeah, she told me to leave basically, and I refused. So then, after refusing, the statue appeared right behind me and handed me this key, as if to say, "This is how I will go speak to Menoetius." After grabbing it, I was then brought back into reality and woke up seeing my body and innards and guts strewn across the floor, my blood all over the walls, sort of drawn in a maze-like pattern.
I don't know if I'm glad or not glad to have cast Death Ward on you.
Yeah.
That is
We'll see.
another type of hell to exist.
Yeah. And in the meanwhile, how did the fight go on the other side? What was happening while Sawyeh was going through this journey?
We fucking kicked ass. We fought
Yeah,
this
you did.
Draco Lich, and on top of it, well, apparently not really. It was an illusion, with the illusion of the Avatar riding the Draco Lich, and we went ham, and it was awesome. And we slayed that thing in like 3 rounds. And
It was bonkers. It was truly bonkers.
oh my god, like total side tangent. Fighting a Draco Lich has been on like my D&D bucket list since like the first time I ever looked through a monster manual, and it was just
You punched it.
so satisfying.
Punch.
Punched. Yeah. And so you had successfully fought this Draco Lich and ran back to Sawyeh's side. And yeah, that is where we are currently picking up. So in the wake of this successful battle, where you had fought off this Draco Lich, where you had enlisted the aid of the mages in this place to drive back the hordes of undead, you had succeeded, but also Arnadel had started to get kind of these weird vibes, where like she couldn't reach out to Alistair Fitzpatrick anymore, and she figured out that Sawyeh was probably in trouble. So after the fight, you had all come racing back into this small hut, where you had seen Sawyeh indeed on the ground, and it looked like her chest cavity had been ripped open, so much so that, pieces of her had spilled out onto the ground, and somebody had taken the time to use the blood to create this maze on the floor that sort of centered around her body. It had been painted onto the ground of this place here. So, and Sawyeh, you had, maybe fortunately succeeded on a Constitution saving throw. So you are conscious as you are here on the ground, torn apart, but awake, because Kara cast a Death Ward on you. So that is where we are picking up in this moment.
Neat.
Can I even speak with my insides inside out?
Your larynx is intact, ain't it?
So what's sort of interesting about that is, Sawyeh, I think you reach up towards your mouth and you're trying to push out words, but there's something wrong with your throat. And as you all are looking at it, you see that there's a very separate wound from whatever is going on with the chest cavity here. It looks like the throat was cut.
Oh shit. Okay.
Interesting.
Tried to kill me before I got the key.
I think
That's
they're
my
trying
guess.
to keep you from speaking.
Or that, yeah.
I think they're trying to. There is a thorough job,
Mhm.
if you will.
There's no key like on my person or in the room, is there?
There's not. And, in the middle of all this, I think you're trying to speak and taking in this situation here, and you can be patting yourself down. And there's not, because in that space, when that creature handed you something, it was like a large key, and you don't feel its weight on you anywhere.
You're the key.
Fair is gonna go into like full on like war medic mode, and just kind of toss her staff to the side and crouch down, and I'm gonna try to start making a medicine check. I don't know if I have to make like series of medicine checks for this shit, but like
I will assist.
Yeah, good. Okay, great. So between the two of you, you're starting to do this. So Farrah, go ahead and make that medicine check with advantage, since Kara is like, you can be like, gauze, water, and Kara is there. They're helping you.
I'm also going to guidance myself.
Yes, fair.
Okay.
Can I also guidance you?
You can only have one, I believe, at a time, unfortunately.
But do you know what's happening right now?
That makes sense.
No, okay. I got 16 plus 2 is 18 plus another 2, so dirty 20.
Sure. And I think, you can look at the situation, and there's a lot to do. So you can just start going at it, putting Sawyeh back together. And over the course of, assessing the actual situation here, it does become very clear to you that there are two major problems with what has happened to Sawyeh. So one, there is a very neat, precise cut across her throat that would certainly have been a killing blow, if not for the magic, the death ward. And then there is this second situation where it looks like claws ripped open Sawyeh's chest cavity, causing all of this damage here. So they appear to be two very distinct injuries that you are dealing with. Yes, Brittany, raising your hand.
Obviously, being Arnadel, she's gonna want to do some forensics and see what length of time has passed between these to see if they're related.
Sure. What?
Meaning that
Yeah.
two different entities. Obviously, it was two different entities, but like maybe they didn't happen at the same time. Maybe one happened first, and I'm trying to figure out like if she was slit by the throat first, and then maybe what was related to this key ritualistic fucking gnarly situation, as rituals can be sometimes, if that was a symptom of the other and that they're not necessarily tied together.
Sure. So what kind of check would you like to give me for that?
Sleuth check.
Like investigation?
My PI check.
Intelligence-based medicine?
I would say investigation, maybe. Or I don't think Arcana. I think it'll have to be medicine or investigation.
And what about an intelligence-based medicine roll?
I'm gonna go with.
I'll let you do an intelligence-based medicine roll if you would like.
Girl, you better get those Blues Clues.
So it'd be my intelligence modifier added to my medicine?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hold on. What is that? Excuse me. Well, my wisdom and intelligence are the same, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Wow, you're so wise.
So wise.
So wise and intelligent. That's going to be 20, a dirty 20.
Sure. Okay, so looking at the situation here, so you definitely know that the blow to the throat would have killed Sawyeh instantly, and very cleanly.
Mm-hmm.
You also know that this chest wound probably wouldn't kill somebody instantly.
That's not what I was looking for. I wanted to see how long.
Yeah, I would say based on arterial spray and damage and whatever, you would
blood
say that
coagulation.
that the slit to the throat happened first, and then followed by whatever this chest situation was. And they certainly weren't made with the same weapon. It's hard to tell if they happened at the same time or not. You don't think so. You think it was probably the throat and then whatever this chest situation was.
But the fact that it happened very close together. So I'm basically trying to see if like two different creatures Like if somebody tried to slit Sawyeh's throat and then left the room and then that fucking chest explosion a la Aliens happened, meaning that there's two separate entities that are not working together is what I'm trying to figure out. But I guess that I'm like,
Arnadel would
"Ugh, I
think
don't know."
that is a distinct possibility,
Cool. So yeah,
but there's
we
not
got-
definitive proof. You know, it's not so black and white, but that is certainly a possibility based on the evidence. Like clearly, you know, this one MO is very different from the other MO, so
Right.
you would guess that there are probably separate causes. Sawyeh, what's happening with you right now? As Farah and Kara are like working to put you back together, and Arnadel is kind of poking around, just looking at the scene.
Sorry.
Just trying to cope with the pain since I'm awake, and I want to help them figure out what's happening as well. So whether I make it or not, I'm trying to, though air can't really pass through my throat right now, I'm trying to say the word key. And since it's starts with such a consonant sound, it's just trying to like just making that key and like that kind of
This is so fucking
basic
traumatic.
and yeah, sound. The minimal sound that I can make.
Yeah. And are you all spending any kind of magical healing at this point once you kind of have everything, you know, back together?
Kara definitely would start a prayer of healing, for sure, because we're all kind of beat up anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead and roll that.
So it takes 10 minutes, so she'll be
Okay.
doing it for a bit.
Yeah, I think you can definitely do it as part of, you know, helping Farah
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah. Farah's gonna take her necklace that Amalfia gave her, and like on her face, like she's barely keeping it together. Like she looks very serious, but she's got like tears in her eyes. And she just like once everything gets stitched up, just presses her hand on it and just like pumps the 4th level cure wounds into Sawyeh. And the whole time she's just kind of like under her breath, it's okay. Just lay down. Just don't even look at this. 24 points from me.
And
Nice.
30 from me.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so once you have, you know, the like emergency medicine situation taken care of, and you do start expending this healing energy, you see Sawyeh's skin start to knit itself back together, you know, as the traces of these injuries are disappearing, as the magical healing is, you know, fixing you right up. So Sawyeh, as these points, you know, are rolling back into you, you can feel, you know, air flowing freely once again, and that constant sharp pain that starts to you know, disappear as it becomes more of a dull, just ache over your whole body.
Key. There's a key.
What?
Arcana check.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I get that this like she would get Arnett would get like the magic situation here.
Yeah.
That's 18.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, again, these symbols on the floor, you know, this maze, this whoever, you know, did this to Sawyeh did so to make this thing. And once again, I mean, the way Sawyeh got into that world before was by walking through this book of mazes. So perhaps this is some kind of sign or a way to communicate, or
So
another
the maze is the key would be my first thought.
perhaps.
Like, which is what I say to the group, and I look at Sawyeh, and it's very difficult to think rationally right now.
Did something, okay, before we try to get in somewhere,
Where's the book?
what happened to you? How did this, we don't want to go back in there if this is what's waiting, is basically.
I don't think this is what's waiting. I think this is the next step.
She's catching her breath very slowly. I saw Mila. She was with Rem. Rem wasn't there. I don't know where they are now. I met some sort of keeper. He gave me a key. He seemed to think that this is the way to find Menoetius. And I start to look around the room, see the maze, and try to see if any of the turns and corners seem like they came out of the book. Did I flip through anything similar? And if I can get close to that sort of state of mind of like, all right, we need to take on another maze.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and make me, I believe it was a religion check that got you into this situation. So let's go ahead and make a religion check with advantage since you've done so many mazes so recently.
Okay. 16.
Okay. As you are looking at this maze around you, you know, it's probably eerie to assess that this pattern on the floor looks like it was probably made by the same person who made that book. You do recognize that same kind of style towards what's going on here. And as you contemplate this maze and sort of what's happening to you, you feel something click in your head. And you now gain the ability to cast the maze spell once per day. That arcane secret has become known to you. And somehow you know that wherever you were, it has something to do with this spell. And the way to get back there again is by using this capability.
Oh. Interesting and very cool.
Pay for your magic. That's an 8th level spell. It's very cool.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You paid with it with your guts.
You paid for it. So yeah, let me actually let's read the maze spell for the people in the back. So maze, it's an 8th level spell that lasts for 10 minutes. You banish a creature that you can see within range into a labyrinthine demi-plane. The target remains there for the duration or until it escapes the maze. The target can use its action to attempt to escape. When it does so, it must make a DC 20 intelligence check. If it succeeds, it escapes and the spell ends. When the spell ends, the target reappears in the space it left, or if that space is occupied, the nearest unoccupied space. So basically, you can point at people and banish them to this demi-plane that is just an endless maze.
Oh my god. Oh goodness. But that's exactly what I need to do to us right now.
You feel like that's not like the traditional use of the maze spell. Usually it is just to bamf and send somebody away. But you think with your knowledge that if you could use the maze spell to bring you all to whatever this demi-plane is, you might be exactly in the right place.
Oh, okay.
It's where we need to be.
Okay. All right. Sisters, gather around.
Wait, how are you doing, by the way? Are you good? Like, what are your stats? Like, what's going on?
I am about a third, less than a third of my total health.
We're gonna go visit a Titan.
Did what Kara and Katie or Farah do give us each 30 heal points?
Yeah, the prayer of healing was for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just 30 for everybody.
Okay.
30 and then an extra 24 to Sawyeh.
Okay.
Could I just like for myself give myself like a, I don't know, medicine or a
Should we take a short rest maybe before we
Oh,
go
really?
into this maze?
I want to take a second to like reconnect with Persona, see if she's still there because I was torn asunder. So I just want to like reconnect with myself for a second.
So short rest for everybody.
Yeah, actually.
Brittany, I will remind you also, you haven't seen Alistar yet.
I didn't. Yes, Arnadil's
I did say
aware.
Rem was here.
Arnadel's aware that Alistar is not there, and the moment that she didn't sense him was one of those things where like shit's really, really, really wrong. And she's chosen very subconsciously, right? Like, okay, Alistar, the love of my life, but also Sawyeh, the other, like my love of my life. She's like, it is pigeonholed. We'll unpack later. Like, this is crisis mode, and she knows that he's not there, and she's understands that he is most likely a victim of this situation and will address it later.
Yeah. So Sawyeh, what are you doing in this moment? Is there anything specific, or are you just kind of like meditating and like just checking in?
Yeah, if there's a bathtub in this room that we're staying in, I'm gonna take me a bath because that's the best way I've been able to connect with Persona in the past. And I just really need some me time anyway. I'm sure I'm covered in blood still, so
Yeah, there's one of those, large kind of wooden tubs that you have to fill up, with hot water. But you can definitely, get that going and sort of clean yourself
yes.
off. And I mean, the whole place around you is still coated. Everywhere you turn, there's more of your blood that's dried on the walls. So,
you probably gotta fight Farah back for some alone time. She's just like trying to help you, like, oh, don't worry, I'll fill the tub. Do you need help getting in? And then she just kind of like sits there and she's like, oh, okay, I'll be outside.
Okay. That's okay. Like, to do everything you want. I'm moving a little too slow right now anyway. Like, you could take care of it all for me.
Okay.
I will let you be the mom.
Yeah, she just gets everything ready, and I'm sure that the bathwater is perfect because we're in a mage place.
Yes. Yeah.
And she's just like, I will let you have whatever. I'll be outside though. Just call. I'll be there.
Thank you so much, Farah. And I hug you.
She holds on for a little bit too long, and she's like, it's fine. Just don't die ever. I can't deal with that right now. I'm very fragile.
Oh, it looks like as long as you guys are here, I'll be okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna thanks. And she'll just kind of scoot out and fling herself on the bed.
Yeah. What is Kara getting up to now that this is Sawyeh's resting in the tub?
Kara is sitting at the beginning of this maze that has been strewn in blood and is now caking and drying on the walls and the floor. And she's just staring at like the first like intersection and thinking about all the times in the past year that she was outmaneuvered, that she was outsmarted by Rem, and is just doting on that and thinking just now that she allowed herself to be baited out like that, and she just wishes she was a better tactician, smarter, and she just feels like it was absolutely her fault that Sawyeh died.
Yeah. Where's Kara going? I think, because we're sort of leaving Sawyeh to the tub. So Fair, I think you also, there's a certain point where like Sawyeh just, closes the door and it's just like, what are we doing now?
Eventually Kara will pick herself up and throw her hair back into a business bun and start going and talking to the mages and being like, asking who's hurt, who needs healing, how many people were lost, and will try her best to do the right thing
Yeah. So I think you head back out onto this main cavern area, and you see Ravain is currently has kind of huddled up all of the mages who are outside fighting, and they all seem to be talking and checking in, and as you come over, he calls out, oh, are you all right? Were any of the maidens hurt?
Well, Rem, I think it's Rem. It's gotta be Rem. It could only be Rem. Was here. She made her way into the room with Mila, with Aaron Shadewalker's younger sister, and cut Sawyeh's throat. And thankfully, right before we left to go confront this horde, I put a death ward on her, so she's alive, and recovering. But
I, I'm so sorry. I'm glad to hear she's all right, but
she baited us out with a big distraction.
but I don't understand why this was all to get to Sawyeh. This all seems very strange.
The reason why we needed to come here is because we needed to talk to Anjou to to try and make contact with Menoetius, and I think as soon as we got close, Rem knew it and needs to keep the truth from us in order to fulfill her master plan.
Well, I can't pretend to know the full extent of everything you're talking about here. I unfortunately am sort of periphery in terms of the Sisters of Sorrow or what's happening here. But if Rem did come to stop whatever it is you're doing, I would suggest you do it and quickly. If she has this many resources, well, I can only imagine what she'll think when she learns she's failed.
Yeah, that's not it's not gonna be a pretty picture, I can tell you that. It's not a pretty picture in that room right now.
And I think Madeline also has kind of overheard this conversation, and she wanders over towards you, and she's like, if there's anything we can do for your friend, please just let us know. None of us are particularly trained in the healing arts, but we do have some resources, or perhaps to help you with whatever this task is you're accomplishing. We owe you so much. We had some minor injuries, truly, but everyone is fine at the end of the day. I suppose a little shocked that our defenses weren't quite what we thought they were, but now we know, and now we can address that.
I mean, unless any of you all know about mazes and minotaurs.
I think when you say that, you can't say that.
Oh. Okay.
When you go to say mazes,
got it. Unless any of you all know, never mind. It's a weird thing. I would probably say it's probably most important for you all to figure out about the power siphoning from the pylons.
It's incredible. I mean, it stopped almost the moment you defeated that creature. But I don't know. It must have been a very powerful wizard indeed to be able to siphon that much energy and be undetected in the process. I don't know if this is something your Rem might be capable of, but
I mean,
whoever they are,
what are demigods capable of?
Well, I mean, we did see that, yes, with the undead hordes, and so I suppose that would be within their reach as well. That's a frightening possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're here if you need anything, and if you do have a mess, perhaps, and she takes a bracelet off of her hand. It's like one of those little beaded bracelets, and she hands it off to you. My unseen servants have served me well in the past. Perhaps they could just help tidy things up. I'm sorry I can't do more.
It's all right. I think that I as weird as this is going to say, I think we need the mess up in that room for a little bit so we can figure out some arcane magic stuff.
All right. Well, it's yours if you need it.
Yeah, after we're done, I'll make sure it's pristine.
Yes. Well, and Ravain like sort of claps you on the shoulder in a like camaraderie sort of gesture, and just makes like a nodded, like, you know, like, you need anything, I'm here for you sort of face at you.
And Kara definitely appreciates it, and she says to both Madeline and Ravena, "Thank you all for standing and fighting with us. You all did a good job." And we'll like kind of nod at each of them and start to walk off back to her friends to see how they're doing.
And Arnadel, what have you been up to in all of this?
I think Arnadel's definitely in part of being in crisis mode is like being going into crisis mode for Arnadel is black and white.
No.
Emotional things get tabled and you deal with those later. You go to efficiency mode and figure out what needs to be done. It's like step by step. It's very systematic. So step one, we know where we need to go. Sawyeh is in the stable, relatively speaking. Kara's handling shit. Vera's handling shit. So she stands around and looks and tries to figure out what she needs to do. And I guess her thought is to touch base with Sawyeh. And you just, you know, she knows when magic happens. She's just like, so she's just getting down with Sawyeh. She's like, first of all, the most important question is, are you okay? And that's a dumb question to ask, but like, are you okay?
Yeah. Surprisingly, I'm doing okay. I just hope that, you know, Persona is still with me, and I know I've said this hundreds of times, but I really wouldn't be here without you guys. So
Well,
I had faith that what I was doing was for the right reasons, and you proved me right.
So to bolster what I was saying about her being in black and white crisis mode, she's like, cool. So what's the next step? Like, she like Arnadel's like kind of in that like calculated mode where you've seen her do this before when she got brought back to life, and then when people, you know what I mean, like, it's like
when traumatic things happen. Yeah. And Sawyeh is not really aware of any of what you guys went through, so she's a little bit taken aback by your energy. She's like, where were you guys? What happened? Where did I'm
gonna do my best to make like robot mode here, where she just gives you pure facts about like, so and so showed up, it was an illusion and we battled them, but it really was just a distraction so that we could not be around you. And then we came back to you, and this is what happened. And the thought crossed my mind, but you know, there wasn't time to think twice about it. And here we are. And what's the next step? You have a way that we need to get back into this maze. We need to get into this maze, right? That's what we need to do next, right?
Yeah. I think once everyone's ready and pulled themselves together, we'll.
Are you ready? Like, Arnadel's like, so.
I'll let you know when I'm ready.
All right. I think
cool.
I think in the middle of this, we're halfway through our episode. So interrupting this moment to start our dice giveaway. So I am going to start this right now. As a reminder, we are giving away a set of Inflict Wounds dice made by RPG Dice. They are beautiful handcrafted dice that are very gothy and spooky. So we are opening up that giveaway right now, making an announcement. Whoa, I think I did it.
Nice.
That confidence.
Wow. No, maybe I didn't.
Yeah. It says
Okay.
enter the giveaway by doing exclamation point maze. All
Maze. So,
lowercase.
exclamation point maze to open that up, and make sure you stick around until the end of the show, because that is when we are going to be raffling off, drawing our winner here. So maze, welcome Raiders, just in time for a dice giveaway. Very cool. Enter exclamation point maze to try and win a set of these handcrafted dice from RPG Dice. Very cool. So I will say, Sawyeh, while Arnadel is talking to you and you do feel yourself like submerging in this bath here, you do feel that familiar sense of persona there around you. The sense is weak. You think maybe because you lost so much blood, she's a very faint presence, but she is definitely still there.
Thank goodness. She lets out this long sigh of relief and just says, I'm so happy you're here. And I think she takes a second to like collect herself, and she probably gets emotional once no one is in the room with her, just to like release everything she just witnessed, and hearing about what her friends went through when she wasn't there to protect them. She feels really bad. But she knows that doesn't matter. It happened. Everyone's okay. We're back. We have to move forward and get this done, because Rem was here. She was physically in the fucking room. And that's terrifying. How has she kept such a close eye on us this whole time? So we need to move fast. So she towels herself off and gets ready, and probably takes like, I don't know, a ginger shot or something like that. Ginger root
Nice.
shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some greens, like real, eat some kale.
Turmeric.
Get back.
Exactly.
Wheatgrass.
She puts a face
Wheatgrass,
mask
yeah.
on real
Fucking
fast.
wheatgrass. God damn it.
Disgusting. Truly nasty.
Yeah. And then like busts out of the bathroom like, all right, thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for protecting me and for coming to me and making sure I survived what just happened. And I'm so happy you are all okay. We need to move forward now. We need to get this done as soon as we can and get out of here, because the Rem will for sure come back if we linger. So let's get together. I'm going to try. I think I understand what we're supposed to do. So just come to me.
And I think while you all are kind of huddling up in this moment of quiet, you all hear something coming from the bedroom. It's something like something rolling across a hardwood floor.
Go look at
Perception check.
What is it? You want to stick your head in the room?
I think
Yeah.
we're all so fucking
Yeah, like-
on edge. We're like immediately tuned into this.
Axe drawn like, what the? Come at me.
All the weapons out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you take out all of your weapons and, Scooby-Doo into the door where your heads are stacked on top of each other. And as you look in the room, you hear there's something coming from under the bed. It sounds like a glass ball that's like ramming up like against the edges of it. And you can kind of see that something is moving down there, but it seems to be getting stuck on the edges of under the bed.
I go
So
pick
it's
up
like
the bed.
what are those called? The vacuum cleaners?
A
Yeah,
Roomba.
it's a Roomba. It's a Roomba. It's a Roomba.
Magic Roomba.
They say it can go over carpets, but it can't.
It cannot go over carpets. That is a lie.
It is a
So-
bullshit lie.
Yeah, Car, you lift up the bed here and you see in this like side, maybe the size of like a beach ball, is this kind of glass orb. And you see inside of it, Alistar Fitzpatrick is running around on the inside
Oh.
trying to like knock against the wall. So he's like, it's stuck in this little hamster ball, like, and he's just
I'm-
looking at you with such panic.
you know that the moment I get visual contact on this, I'm gonna unceremoniously, with love, fucking shoot your ass out of my way.
Yeah, for sure.
I was trying to keep it together. I was not gonna address my feelings of despair until after this shit was done for that baby,
Yeah.
because I trusted that it was gonna be okay. Like, sorry. So what do I do? What's Sawyeh doing?
Yeah, no. So as you look at it, Arnadal, I mean, with your magic eyes, you can clearly see that this is some kind of like sphere that has been trapped around Alistar, like
Is that why
like
I
an
can't feel
anti-magic
him?
sphere.
So that's why I can't feel him.
Oh
my
there's no
God.
sound coming out. There's no anything, but he's just looking at you, just like with utter panic.
So I'm going to just express verbally that everyone listening and to all of our characters present, you're about to see Arnadel unhinged. About the same level as when Isolde was going to try and kill, like, put Sawyeh to the test. Like one of those things where I'm like, I'm about to kill whoever the fuck stands in my path. Like no bars held or whatever the fucking phrase is. So yeah, I'm going to like pounce onto that orb and be completely irrational and try to use my body to open it.
Yeah. So you like hit it and tap things, and you're shaking it and picking it up, and like it's Alistar the whole time is kind of like wailing and like inside this ball here. Do you have anything like a dispel magic to potentially counteract this? Mm-hmm.
I am so yes, of course I do. I absolutely do. But like this is a frantic mode. I'm also starting. I think this is the straw that's breaking the camel's back after seeing what happened to Sawyeh, which is definitely the biggest trauma of the situation. And this is just the last pin that takes the door off its hinges. So Arnadel is losing it right now, and she has a big ass brain and the full capability of getting Alistar out of this situation, but she can't. Yeah. She's the trauma of Sawyeh's
so you're shaking this ball.
Yeah, I'm literally clawing at it with my hands, and I'm on the ground and like screaming and crying, and it's like this, you're seeing it unravel. Like I'm losing it right now. Like this is it. And I need to let all of the things that are going on, the weight of the world, all of that is coming out right now. Like guttural, animalistic screaming is happening right now.
You're muted, Farah.
Farah's gonna kneel down next to her and kind of like put her hand on her shoulder and reach a hand out and just spell it for her.
I probably like jerk away from you when you try to, like when your hand touches me. I'm gonna like, like when an animal's like backed into a corner kind of thing. Like she's in rabid mode right now because like this is just too much.
Whoa,
it's too much.
Helping, not hurting.
I'm probably spitting and foaming at the mouth. Like snot's running out of my face, and like I'm just like like I'm not making sense. I'm shaking, and to the point that like I actually like let go of Alistar's orb, and I just go sit in a corner, and I'm like having a fucking psychosis. Like Arnadel's fucking lost it for this moment because it's too much.
Very gently, Sawyeh will kneel towards you. I'll keep a distance, at least 3 feet. I will kneel
hey there,
at
Bella.
You. Yeah, like Arnie. He's here. He's okay. He's with us. You'll get him out. At least he's with us. Let Farah help. I know you're scared, but he's okay.
I am not okay. I'm not okay. This isn't okay. None of this is okay.
No, but he can't stay in there. So let Farah help you.
Yeah, okay. I have so much to say, but thank you. I need a minute. Like she's just don't even look at me. Like and she also feels absolutely ashamed that she's not the one helping her own fucking baby, but she's just like, I can't fucking deal with this right now. And so she's gonna have her fucking full-blown panic attack in the corner and be deeply grateful and guilty as fuck, all wrapped up in a big shame blanket, and we'll address it later. That's her MO right now. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
Fair
And Farrah, you can
dispel it and be like, do the pet thing where you very slowly put your little head on her knee.
Oh, I don't know if you have to tell Alistar. He's linked to my soul.
Yeah.
We share a soul bond.
Yeah, I think as you send out the dispel and you see whatever this, like, the ceiling ball of magic disappear, Alistar hits the ground all of a sudden, and just that moment, like a cat where you're kind of arched and it's like as he looks around.
I'm sure I turn around immediately as soon as that dispel happens. I'm just like fucking flip around and open arms, and we're just
and he goes and
magnetized.
charges and is like making this like wailing sound as he jumps and like climbs up on you and just like latches around your neck and refuses to let go.
It probably unnerves you if anybody can see Arnadel's face, where she's got this like dead, white-eyed, like fucking blind, like, when you clutch something and you're just in so much like if you've ever almost like had a panic of your life, like something that just almost got hit by a car, or you know what I mean? Like something really fucking traumatic almost happened and you have it and you're just like dead fish-eyed, like, oh my motherfucking God. I don't know how else to describe that. It's weird to look at, and I'm sure obviously it's unspeakable to experience. And so, there it is. There's that. And it's all wrapped up in all this shit that's happening at the moment and all the things that we just literally saw.
It's like
It's
end
real
of campaign.
ice creams. Yeah,
End
ice
of
cream
campaign
sandwich.
drama and drama.
There you go, Celeste.
Ice cream sandwich of feelings.
Oh,
yeah. Hang on. I need to refill my glass. I'll be
Ice cream sandwich
I have
sounds
this here.
so good.
Literally grab. What the fuck? But on that note, who's down for ice cream?
I heard Celeste said ice cream sandwich feelings, and I was like, fuck, I really want an ice cream sandwich.
So about that.
About that life.
The cheapest, shittiest ice cream sandwiches you can get from the grocery store are always the best.
The ones that stick to your teeth and are
God, that
roof of your mouth.
Yes.
The cookie
Bite into
ones
it,
are
it's
my,
caked, and you have to like get it out. It's so good.
Save it for later.
Oh, I love an It Set. That's my favorite.
Those, I didn't know what the fuck those were until I moved to San Diego, and they're amazing. Like disgustingly amazing. Like that cookie.
Hardcore delicious.
I get the coffee flavored
Truly.
one. That one's my favorite.
So anyway, trauma.
So back to this.
So what is the plan once again? Once things have sort of calmed down.
Another short rest. No, I'm just kidding.
We need another one.
I think I'm like resolved to fuck shit up right now.
Yeah.
Let's get this going.
Since Sawyeh is kind of leading this spell and everything, she's very patient. She knows that we have to get this done, but I don't want to force Arnadel until she's up and ready to get going.
Oh no, you guys see her chill. I mean, she's like, obviously this is emotionally volatile as fuck, right? She's gonna have her baby and then have she remembers crisis mode. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You need to fucking deal with each of this. Stop, get a grip, woman. And so she kind of has her baby. She looks at all of you and she's just like, I'm really sorry about that.
You're good.
Kara, is this what it's like to have rage? Is this literally what I fucking see when you obliterate scores of things in one bash? Because I think I might be able to relate to you right now.
Hikara kind of slowly nods her head, is like, yeah, pretty much.
I am seeing you in a whole new light. I look at everybody else and I'm just like, can we fucking go and I'm good. Let's go. I'm better than I could possibly be in this moment. Let's fucking go. We'll talk about it later.
Insight check.
Let's do
You know,
it. Let's channel this energy.
Let's channel it. Let's
So-
take it. Let's use it.
Your insight check is 1,000%. Arnadell fully is 100% behind what she's saying. Like there's
All right, let's roll.
All right.
Autobots.
So, Sawyeh, how are you using your new understanding of the spell Maze? Where are you putting people? What does this casting look like? What do you do to activate this spell?
I think given that there's a maze surrounding us right now, that's what's sort of given me the power. And I kind of want us all to walk in the lines, not necessarily going anywhere, but just following the patterns. And I think whatever, I couldn't find the spell when I tried to search for it. So whatever the actual action is to perform it, whether it's an incantation or something else, it comes to her as they're walking through this maze. And she is, oh, thank you. She is linking all of their energies, like she's feeling their, because she can fucking do it. She's feeling their auras and is like, all of you come with me, like we are entering this maze together, we are entering this plane together, we are walking this path together.
Very, very cool. All right. So with this in mind, all of you are taking part in this spell, walking this direction that Sawyeh, this web that she's weaving for you with her magic and her knowledge. So let's go ahead and make a group Arcana check. So everybody roll Arcana for me.
Ooh, that's an extra 20.
Oh boy, Arndel's there.
I'm so fucking lit right now. I feel like I'm buzzing with like electricity. Her hair is standing on end with the electrical magic that's coming out of her because she's so fucking charged.
I got a 14.
I got a 21.
Thank goodness, 16.
Okay, good. All right, that is 3 successes. So, as you begin to walk this path, I think all of you, Sawyeh, this sensation is very familiar to you because you've done it once before, but all of you feel it's sort of gradual, the way you leave this place and enter somewhere else as you are walking along these paths, and you begin to see another place that's kind of laid over your vision of this reality here. And as you focus on it, as you meditate on it, as the power increases for this spell, this other world becomes more and more clear to all of you. And the reality of this hut, the reality of, the Kronos desert, of this world fades away. Until around you, you see you are in some kind of gigantic stone hall. And you can tell it's a hall because there have been columns that are carved from the floor to the ceiling. But I mean, whoever lived here must have been gargantuan, giant, titanesque, you might even say, as you look around the walls here. And all of this stone that forms the ceilings and the floors is this ash gray. That very same color, Sawyeh, that you saw everything was kind of coated in when you were here once before, but you're not in exactly the same place. You're in this cavern. You can't see sky. You can't see really anything else beyond the confines of this place. And all of your dark vision extends to its full lengths or whatever it is, and there is still more darkness beyond that point because you are somewhere vast.
Well, can my dark vision friends see much further?
With that magical darkness at 120 feet?
Yeah, I mean, you see out to 120 feet, and then space just keeps going out around you.
It's dark as fuck.
It's dark as hell.
Forecast. Dark as hell.
There's a 20% chance it's already raining.
Who knows? It's dark.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I suppose we start navigating through this. Does it seem? It seems like a big open room that we're in the space that we can see. There's not like a clear wall on either side of us.
Correct.
All right, let's just move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
as you, yeah.
Nothing. This is fine.
So as you move, just you can sort of pick a direction and go. Everything here feels sort of strange. Like the air, the atmosphere of whatever this place is quite a bit different from the material plane you came from. It's very dry here, and warm, even though you think maybe underground, and it is so quiet. So as you take these steps in this cavernous hallway, your echoing footsteps ring out and just come back to you. It's just this loud noise. And so you continue to walk forward here, and eventually you do run into maybe the wall of this chamber, and you see that in the rock is this massive crack. It doesn't look like a carved door or anything. It's just as if some section of the wall has collapsed and made a tunnel moving forward.
Mm.
Okay,
We
well,
feel good about going in, everyone. Are we ready?
for some reason, a crack in the wall feels better than infinite darkness.
I don't
so-
think I pause. I think I'm just like, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this, fuck this. Like,
What
All right,
about
then we
first?
just keep going forward.
Sure. So it is and continues to be completely dark in this chamber. As you do move forward, you see that this cavern, the walls around here probably only go up to about 15 feet or so, so feel much tighter than that vast cavern that you were just in before. So you follow this tunnel moving forward, and you can see now that the walls are sort of changing from that chalky white material to almost like a dull crystal that sort of has a bluish quality to it.
I'm curious. I still have giant ass wings. So if I fly up, can I see like anything over?
So you sort of hit that wall because it's a 15-foot like tall kind of tunnel that you're standing in
okay.
here.
I thought it
Yeah.
was open top.
So it's still not open to the sky, unfortunately. So you're in just sort of this tube, this crystal tube, as you're moving forward. And again, absolutely no light. You can just make out this crystalline structure here, and you come to a point where you see a T section, and you can turn left or you can turn right.
My body says left.
Mhm.
My body says left, so we keep going left. All right, and you continue down again this tunnel for quite a bit before you come to another junction where you can turn left or you can turn right.
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 complete a circle first.
All right, so you turn right down this passageway, and you see all of a sudden the darkness starts to meld away as something in a chamber ahead of you is emitting some kind of light. And as you round this corner, you see a smaller cavern in front of you. There are no more exits out of this passageway here, but standing in the center is a gate. And when I say gate, imagine like sort of a Stonehenge kind of situation where it's just these rocks that have been stacked up on top of each other. And you see at the very top of it is the symbol carved into the top that sort of looks like maybe it's like a plant or a tree of some kind.
Religion check?
Yeah.
And guidance. Okay. 13 plus 9 is 22 plus 1, 23.
Okay. As you're looking at this, you're like, I don't think that's a specific religious icon, but it sort of reminds you of like the alchemical symbol for Earth. Yeah. Yes, Arnadel.
I mean, okay, like that's my thing. Is that something I'm going to recognize immediately, or do I need to roll a check?
No, I think Fair, can point that, and you would know that at the same time. You're like, oh, Earth.
Earth.
But what's interesting, I mean, this symbol isn't what they would use for modern day alchemy. Alchemy has gone through a lot of changes, and
but
scholarly. This is a very old symbol for.
Yeah, you're old symbol, but it's Earth. That's what they used like way back, like ancient Greek texts versus like modern translations. So yeah, they're Kara, Earth.
Car shrugs.
I'm gonna. Is there like any loose gravel or rocks around me?
Sure.
I'm gonna pick up a rock and throw it through the gate.
All right. You see it tosses through and lands on the other side.
I'm assuming detect magic. Arnadel's learned her lesson in being in magical places. Detect magic usually doesn't help too much because the place is magical.
You can see, I mean, the place around you is certainly magical, but the gate in particular does have magic on it, some kind of utility or teleportation magic built into it.
This makes me think of like an Avatar when you have to have like an earthbender to unlock something. Like they have to do an earthbending move or a firebending move, right? Like you can only do it with a very specific fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a door with big horns on it. So.
Big tubas.
Big tubas.
Better know how to fucking earthbend for this one. Anybody?
I mean, I can manipulate Earth, but like I just threw a rock through the gate. I don't know what else it wants. I'll try. I will take a little lump of ground and mold it into the shape that I see, the symbol that's on the gate of Earth.
Okay. Bad. Yeah.
So you sculpt this little ball of earth, toss it through the gate, and nothing happens. It seems to just pass through like you would expect.
All right, so it's a maze. Earth. Is the Earth the only alchemical symbol, or are there other symbols?
That's the only one on this gate.
That's it. Okay.
I would like to use my. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I think I'm just gonna walk through it.
Okay.
Actually,
for the sake of science, I would love to watch you.
I should watch you do that.
I would say if anyone should walk through it, it should be Kara. I think the person who is most connected to the element
Earth,
that we're seeing should walk through it.
For
I
sure.
don't want to volunteer someone else. That's
I have telepathy.
That's Nassim's suggestion.
So Kara would like to go to the gate, and she would like to use her dwarven stone cutting to try and suss out the, what does it give me exactly? It gives me I want to make a check related to the origin of stonework. I'm considered, so.
Ooh, let's do it.
So that is a 24.
Okay. So what's sort of interesting about this stone and like the crystal substances you've been seeing everywhere? You do not recognize this material as something you might find on the material plane. Whatever this stone is, it, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like true stone. Not stone in the way you know it. This is more like the impression of stone, or like somebody has created this to imitate stone.
So it immediately jumps to mind, and Kara is like, wait, okay, well, Farrah, you weren't here for this, but when we went through the, that's like, not a maze, but, we had to go through all these things when we first went into the mist in, like, episode 12, and...
before we met the sisters, like on our way to meet
the
sisters.
And we had to give a story that was written down, and I looked at that stone, and that stone.
Oh, the baths.
Yeah, it seemed like, it seemed like, it wasn't stone from this plane. So this is like that kind of stone. It's like the idea of stone, but it's not really.
What?
Should we?
Sarah just.
I don't know.
Arnold's like, right. I get it. I'm like, Farrah, you've absolutely read about alternate planes of existence, like pocket planes. It's the mind of the thing that's creating this place. This is that thing's idea of what this should be.
I definitely haven't read about that, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
I kind of look at Kara and I look at Sawyeh and I'm like, what if we just said the word? Maybe we could say stone or earth and primordial. And then maybe actually if that doesn't work, earth and dwarven might work as like.
Yeah, like I also imagine in Dwarven there's like 1,000 words for
I'm literally
rock
thinking
or
of, like-
stone and earth. Like,
Remember the
And-
speak friend and enter.
yeah. So
Mhm.
she's just like rock, stone, gravel.
Every time she says another word for it, Farrah's just like moving her pinky close to the inside of it, and
Do we-
eventually sticks her pinky through it.
So I will say, you keep listing these words for stone and earth, and nothing seems to be happening.
Okay.
Nothing in primordial either.
You can say every language under the sun, and nothing seems to affect the
Okay.
door. Farrah, as you are bringing a pinky in closer towards it, you're sticking that. Nothing is really happening to your pinky, but you can feel a magical force around this gate. So you do think it is responding or interacting with you somehow. Just maybe it just doesn't send pinkies through.
God, exclusive. Gotta have a full body.
Wow.
She's like, all right, that's it. I don't want to be here. I'm moving forward. And she's just gonna walk through.
You all see Farrah disappear as she steps through the gate.
Kara's like shrugs and is like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, I think at this point
And
none of
walks
us are
through.
questioning it. Same. Arnold's like, okay, well, all right.
Science!
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crowbars.
Somebody had to cannonball.
All right. So as you all step through the gate, once again, you're somewhere entirely different. But this place feels a lot more like the world you just came from. But you are standing in this dark, ancient forest. You can see all of these gnarled trees twisting high above you, making this thick, thick canopy that the sun doesn't even dare to try and permeate. All around you, you can smell moss and plant life. You can hear the chirping of birds somewhere in the distance, the scurrying of beasts moving through this forest. You think it's probably twilight, or maybe it's that the sun just can't get through. You're not really sure, but everything is sort of cast in this eerie, dim light.
Is this reminiscent of like meeting the Raven Queen?
Were you in a forest there?
We came out of a forest.
No, I don't think that feels quite the same. This feels like you are standing in a forest.
Sick, I didn't die. All right.
Does anything about this forest feel familiar? Like whether it's the animal noises, the fauna, the anything.
Landmarks.
Yeah.
Why don't
Like we've been here before.
I don't think
In a
so.
dream.
I don't think anything here really feels too familiar. I mean, the forest you were in, in the Elven lands, was very different from this. This is more like a gnarled, sort of nightmarish forest, honestly, as you're looking around.
I turn to Arnadell and I say, anything magical about this place?
Well, I mean, technically yes, but also not particularly. I mean, girl, we're in another dimension. It's gonna be magical, but also
That's all I'm trying to figure out. Are we in another dimension still?
Well,
Or?
yeah, like I think yes, obvious. Like anytime we go through that, like I mean, how you've been through regular doorways? Like this is not a normal doorway. We're in a forest now, but no, nothing is pinging on the horizon. I'm just giving you a very full-bodied answer. So the short of it, no, but the long answer is yeah, it is magical, but not what you're asking specifically.
Do the trees in the forest look like almost like weirdly uniform? Like they're also
Yeah.
like man-made to look certainly
fabricated.
You know, they really do.
Ew.
I'm
Oh,
almost wondering if Menoetius is just like, fuck, I'm stuck here. Like, I'm just gonna make my own little world, and this is just her trying to create all the environments that she remembers when she wasn't stuck here.
or somebody else made it to trap her, and this is their shitty job of making a little shoebox for the animal to live in.
Yeah. Neither
I
great.
say that out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, how
Arnadale
great would
says
that
it.
be if she doesn't actually want to be here?
I don't
Maybe
think she
she'll
does.
actually
Who
answer
would?
her questions.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Maybe her conscience shaped it into being ugly because she hates being trapped here.
And I think you all are contemplating this. Standing in the middle of this sort of grove, this copse of these dark, weirdly similar trees all around you. When you hear the cry of birds coming from somewhere nearby, and you can sense motion as these creatures rise above the tree line here. And somewhere there's this great thump that hits the earth. And all of you can kind of feel the ground rattle a bit below you. And there's a pause before another of these footfalls comes again.
So it's real big.
And you can hear the crunching and cracking of trees as something incredibly large is coming. And you can look up towards, just poking through the canopy here. And you see this crested, almost like a mountain that's moving along it, but you see trees and another piece of forest affixed to whatever this thing's back is as it takes one more massive step that lands down. And some of the trees around you just shatter in the weight of this like earthquake as this thing moves, and you see just the edge of a foot that is large and thick, like the biggest tree in the world, as you look at this thing and you see one like taloned claw. And that's where we're going to end the game for today.
Wait, like, is this like a lion turtle? We're about to learn I just watched
I
Avatar
don't
recently.
even know.
Energy bending? Is this what we're gonna have to
Wow.
do with fucking Rem?
That would be sick.
She just can't do anymore.
I like it.
Yes.
We're all gonna take it from her.
Heck yes. Well, before we do outros, we have a giveaway to close out. We're going to give away some inflict wounds, which I felt was extremely appropriate to this episode.
We do have a lot of hate in our hearts right now.
Yeah, red and gray and smoky. All right, so let me do it. I'm going to do the giveaway.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Yes.
No one joined me.
I have done it. All right, I am announcing Pyro No Maniac. Congratulations on winning a set of dice. So go ahead and make sure to respond so that we can accept you as the entrant here. So congratulations on winning that set of dice. Oh, look at you in the chat. I see you. Thank you, Pyro. Yay! Thank you everybody for hanging out and entering. But yes, that is where we are leaving the Maidens this week. Oh boy, we have so much fun stuff. Let me just, can I show you a little tiny corner?
No.
Just a little corner of a maze. That's fine. Oh, wow.
Make sure you hit claim, Pyro. Did they say claim?
All right, I see you in the chat. So hit claim and tell me where you at so I can send these dice to you. Message me, please.
It's exclamation point claim, right?
I think so.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
in the DMs. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
Cool.
out. But yeah, well, that's me. I'm excited. We are not going to be back with an episode of main campaign until the September 2nd. So next week we are going to be back here doing a Dark Matter game, which is going to be super duper fun. Dark Matter is science fiction rules for D&D, which is super great. So it uses the D&D rules, but you in space. So that's going to be awesome. And then, yeah. Okay, we should do our outros before I start announcing things. So, hello everybody, it's
so
me. I was your dungeon master, Celeste Conowitch.
You're yet again traumatized moon elf Warlock Arnadilithil. Putting stuff in boxes. We'll unpack them later. Played by Brittany Quintero.
I'm Katie. I play Farah Valen. You're barely keeping this shit together. Tiefling sorceress. That's gonna be okay, boo boo.
We're gonna be okay.
Everything's okay. I'm Nassim, and I am your revived and now taking charge human monk, Sawyeh.
And I'm Sage, and I was messaging Pyro to tell them to DM us with their address. But I have been your dwarven barbarian this evening, Cara Brunhilde.
Oh, I can't wait to share all the goodies that I have baked into this very cool maze. So yes, like I said, we will be back with this game on September 2nd. So in the meantime, please do like the show, subscribe, do all the good things, tell the people about us. We would love that and love you for it. So thank you all so much for being here. And until next time,
venture away!
Venture away, everybody, to Maze Hell.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
I sure would like to get out of here.
I would like to leave.